Yeah, stand up so I can see. Good work.
Catch the door behind you.
They should be sure.
Good evening to everyone, and welcome to the State of the District 66 for our fabulous Mr. Fabian Nelson. We thank you guys for coming out this evening and putting us on your schedule. We've got some interesting information. You've got passages that you've been passed out. We want to make sure that everybody gets to receive Mr. Fabian's information today. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Mr. Fabian Nelson.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How y'all doing?
Good.
All right, so thank y'all so much for showing up. We have a group of very amazing people. Mayor White, wave to everybody. That's the mayor of Byron. Thank you for having us in your wonderful city. We have Alderwoman Gibson back there. How you doing? Thank you so much for coming. And we have Mr. George Stewart. He is a candidate for Hines County School District School Board.
Yes.
So thank y'all all for coming out fashionably late. We have Miss Brittany Bowman back there. Come on in. All right. So I stand before you today to deliver the State of the District address, reflecting on our progress, challenges, and the path forward. Our district has seen remarkable growth in various sectors, but there are crucial areas that demand our attention and action. I join you this evening from a place that is near and dear to my heart, Gentleman Image Barber Gallery, a premier business located here in the heart of District 66. I want to thank the owner, my friend, and barber for over 20 years, Marcus Gaddis, MG, for allowing us to have the event here. This evening, we celebrate his business and all of the other small businesses that are the backbone of this great district. In the past year, our district has witnessed significant strides in economic development. New businesses have emerged, creating job opportunities for our residents. We are committed to fostering an environment that attracts investments, supports local entrepreneurs, and sustains economic growth. This past session, Mississippi received two of the largest economic development projects in state history. one being a $1.9 billion plant in Marshall County. The other being the absolute largest economic development in state history, which is a $10 billion investment from Amazon data centers located in Madison County. Now, a lot of people may say, how is this going to benefit District 66? It says not in District 66. Well, it's going to benefit us greatly because we have thousands of construction workers that will be here for the next few years. They're going to have somewhere to eat, have somewhere to lodge, and have somewhere to get out. And so we're going to be bringing that traffic into District 66. Another thing, anytime you see an Amazon plant go up or anything related to Amazon, they're just getting started. So we will have economic development in District 66 very soon. I'm very confident of that. Access to reliable internet is no longer a luxury, but a necessity in today's digital age. We understand the importance of broadband expansion for education, healthcare, and overall community connectivity. COVID exposed our technological deficiencies when our work lives and school lives all had to go virtual. We have initiatives in place to ensure that every corner of our district is equipped with high-speed internet access. And I'm happy to announce this evening that a $150 million grant from the Capital Projects Fund has been awarded to several counties in Mississippi. Almost $17 million will be invested into Southern Hinds County, mostly District 66, which will give us an additional 4,915 homes broadband access. There's a map showing the expansion project. It is, if y'all look right behind you in that window right there, where y'all see all of the green down at the bottom of the map, that's District 66. So broadband is on the way. I'm gonna also be putting some information on my website where you can look at and you can put your address in and see the dates and all of that. Healthcare is a fundamental right, not a privilege. I acknowledge the pressing need to expand Medicaid coverage to provide healthcare access to those who need it most. This initiative is not just about policies, but about caring for our neighbors and ensuring their well-being. We were very close to expanding Medicaid this last session, but it did not happen. But I'm honored that Speaker Jason White has appointed me to the Select Committee on Healthcare Reform, where we will study Medicaid expansion and make suggestions to the legislature on how we get this done next session. As we look ahead to the challenges and opportunities of the coming year, it's crucial that we prioritize tackling domestic violence, responsible gun ownership, mental health, and education reform. These issues are central to the well-being and safety of our communities, and I'm committed to working tirelessly to address them. We have a responsibility to protect the most vulnerable among us. And by focusing our efforts on these priorities, we can make meaningful progress towards building a safer and more equitable society for all. Unity is the cornerstone of a strong and resilient community. Despite our differences, we are stronger together. Let us embrace unity as we navigate through challenges, celebrate victories, and work towards a common goal of a better future for all residents of our district. As we look ahead, let us remember that our greatest achievements stem from collective effort, shared values, and unwavering determination. Together we can and we will build a district that thrives economically, connects seamlessly, cares for all its members, and stands united in the face of adversity. We will rebuild the community by championing mentorship programs and continuing to strengthen our relationships with other elected officials. Contrary to popular belief, nothing in the legislative process is done in solitary. We must work together to get things done. Working together, we can make a positive impact and build a stronger, more vibrant community for all. I want to thank you for your continued support, dedication, belief in the potential of our district, and together, let us write the next chapter of our shared journey towards prosperity and inclusivity. Thank y'all so much. So, moving on to the fun part, I want to talk about the legislation that was passed this year that will be affecting our lives. And so I think the first thing I'll start with to soften everybody up, I'm going to start with the money that's going to be coming into the district. So we're going to talk about our appropriation pieces. So we're only going to be talking about the parts that affect District 66. So we have $500,000 that we appropriated to the Hinds County Sheriff's Department. This money is going to be used for body cams as well as upgraded vehicles for our sheriff deputies. They are long overdue for cars and transportation. I had a deputy meet me at a house and the car broke down when he met me at the house a few months ago. And that's something that's been done about this. Now, another thing that we talk about in Jackson is blighted property. It's a huge problem that we're having in the city right now. So what are we doing? Well, due to the help of Representative Ronnie Crudup, we've secured $250,000 to go towards blight removal. If y'all look at the map over here on the wall, the big one, those are all tax forfeited properties located in Hinds County. It's $250,000 that's appropriated. It's going to only go to everything south of Highway 80. So that's our effort to start cleaning our community back up. We have $1 million appropriated for the repavement of Sywell Road from Oak Leaf to Raymond Road. So that's going to all be repaved with a $1 million. In the town of Terry, Mississippi, they're appropriated $400,000 to construct a police department and get playground equipment, as well as another $150,000 for infrastructure improvements. In the city of Byron, where we're located right now, thanks to Mayor White and the Board of Aldermen, we will be cutting a check for $500,000 to the city of Byron to widen the intersection up there at Terry Road. And so y'all get with the board and they can tell you when it's gonna start. But that's thinking forward, because Byron is one of the fastest growing cities in Mississippi right now. And getting off the interstate, traffic is everywhere, so this is gonna alleviate some of the stress on our system. It's just the first project of many. We're gonna be doing some more in the future. So we are grateful for that. In Utica, Mississippi, with the help of Representative Stephanie Foster, $300,000 has been appropriated to Reed Town Water Association for pipe installation and replacement. So there are places other than Jackson that are having water problems. I want everybody to know that. This is a problem all across the state. We just get the most publicity for it for some reason. So those are the appropriations that are coming to Hinds County District 66 in particular. There are several more that I didn't talk about because they're not germane to this district. But this year, the city of Jackson received more appropriations than we've received in a very long time. Something else amazing happened. VI Love, Jackson State University, got record number of appropriations. So we have a lot of money going to Jackson State University, Mississippi's only urban university. So I'm proud of those strides. I'm proud of the direction that we're going in. Now it's time to get to the bills and laws that we're going to be facing. Y'all all got a packet, and this is all in your packet. It's a legislative summary. So these are all of the bills and things that we're going to be facing, well, I should say laws. So we had 3,300 bills filed last session. Out of these, 406 of them became law. Our state budget, or the state support budget rather, was $7.85 billion. So we actually cut the budget by 2.8% this year. One of the hot topics we talked about was education at the legislature this year. That was something I campaigned on. I said, you know what, fully fund education. We're going to fully fund education. That's something I'm very passionate about. Well, we not only fully funded education this session, we actually gave more money to go towards public education. So Jackson Public Schools will be getting about $18 million more dollars. Hinds County School District is getting almost an additional $1 million. And so we're doing this for our children because they're our future. That's the best investment that we can make is in our children. And so I'm happy that we were able to get that done. And we still have work to do with education. Our teachers got pay raises, but guess what? We're still at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to what we pay our teachers. The truth of the matter is we can never pay our teachers what they're worth, because every single person has to start somewhere, doctors, attorneys, anybody. You have to start with the teachers right now, developing and molding them. So we're going to be fighting. Another thing that I'm very happy about is now American Sign Language is recognized as a foreign language in Mississippi and will be taught as an elective in our schools. So that is really good. Um, Also, another thing, I want to talk about dyslexia. We are going to be putting certified academic language therapists employed in the schools to help students with dyslexia. Dyslexia is something that's very misdiagnosed, undiagnosed. A lot of people don't recognize it when they see it. So we're going to have therapists in these schools to pick up on this so that they can intervene and help our students. Another bill, Senate Bill 2695, is going to require school districts to establish a driver's education course. This was a request from Mississippi Department of Public Safety because a lot of people don't know, but in order to get your driver's license in the state of Mississippi, there's no road test anymore. So you go get your driver's license, you fill your application out, take the written test, you get your license without ever getting behind the wheel. And so we're saying we have to do something because we have the highest rate of accidents for teenage drivers. So we're reincorporating driver's ed into all school districts. Hopefully we can get some more measures put in place. This is just the beginning of that. We also, with Senate Bill 2727, we're creating the post-secondary mental health task force, which is going to study mental health within our schools. That's a problem that we're facing after COVID, not only in the schools, just in society as a whole. So I'm very proud of that. And this is one I know everybody is happy about, our PERS legislation. That is one that kept some people up at night, some of our legislators. It didn't keep me up at night because I voted the correct way on it when it came through the first time. But ultimately, what would have happened is our PERS board would have been dissolved, and it would have allowed political appointments on the board. So we fought this, and in fighting this, the board is going to remain the same, benefits are going to remain the same, and there will be an employer contribution rate of 0.5% coming directly from the employer. It's going to be coming, and that's going to happen for, I think, 5 years until we get to a max of 2.5%. Now, in the other legislation, what would have happened, there was also going to be a 5% increase in the old form of it, which we want everybody to get a raise. I'm all for putting more money in people's pockets, but that would have hurt our municipalities. It would have hurt our state agencies because they don't have the money for a 5% raise. So doing it slowly over time, that's giving us more time so that they can budget and account for it. So happy about PERS. PERS is not changing. The 13th check will be overnight. Senate Bill 2470. I know everybody loves the tax-free holiday when you go back to school and get all the clothes tax-free. Well, what we did is we're actually moving that holiday back to the second Friday in July. So you can go shopping earlier instead of waiting until the last minute. Moving on down to these are bills I think are very important. These are our crime and law enforcement bills. House Bill 295, it authorizes electronic applications and signatures for arrest warrants. So now judges can sign arrest warrants electronically. In the past, officers had to physically take it to the judge and have them sign it. Now they can sign it electronically. I'll be honest with you, I oppose this legislation because I feel something such as a search warrant needs to be handled in person. Another reason I oppose this legislation is because I would hate for a perpetrator to find a loophole in the system and walk away scot-free because something was done improperly with the search warrant. And so I'm all for being efficient, but some things I feel should be done the old-fashioned way. Next one, House Bill 438. This revises the penalties for shoplifting. So the first offense is a $1,000 fine. Second offense is $2,500. Next one, House Bill 873. This is another bill that's near and dear to my heart. This is the Purple Alert. This is the first bill that I ever presented on the floor in the House of Representatives, and it passed unanimously. What the Purple Alert does is it establishes a new alert for people suffering with a cognitive disability or autism. And so similar to an Amber Alert, if a person with autism is missing, it will be a Purple Alert. This is very important because it's important for our officers to know what they're walking into so that they can take, different measures when approaching a person, because there have been cases where people with autism have been hurt because the officers, were unaware. So this is going into effect. This actually should be starting today. They're getting everything set up. And so when y'all see purple alert, y'all will know exactly what that's about. House Bill 903. This is a bill that deals with Glock switches. What a Glock switch is, it's a little small piece of plastic, and believe it or not, you can go on Amazon and buy this. People are buying them, putting them in guns, and they convert your gun into ultimately a machine gun. What happened with this is there was an officer down in Lucedale, Mississippi, y'all may have heard about, that was murdered this year. He pulled a guy over and the guy shot him, but he had a Glock switch in. He shot this officer, and we actually named this bill in honor of that young man. Now, Glock switches were, they already had a federal ban, so it was illegal on the federal level to possess one, but not on the state level. The reason that we saw it important to move this to the state level is because since it wasn't against the law in Mississippi, we had to wait on the federal prosecutors to prosecute people for these crimes. Well, now if you're caught with a Glock switch, we prosecute you right here in Mississippi without having to go through that added layer. So I'm happy about that. I know everybody saw that the Supreme Court ruled about bump stocks and all of that. Please don't get that confused. It's two different things. Glock switch, bump stock are two different things. You're going to jail with a Glock switch. So we need to make sure we let people know that, because some people thinking that they were not outlawed, but Glock switches are illegal. House Bill 1196, it creates the crime of sextortion. And this is basically when a person takes images of a person and tries to extort them for money. It could be nude images of a person and say, you give us a certain amount of money and, it'll go away. So now that will be a crime. House Bill 1487 is going to revise the boundaries of the CCID. So another map behind everybody right back there in the window, you see the map with the blue, is blue, red, and green. So the blue is the current CCID. That red area right there is part that's coming out. The green area at the top is going to be the expanded boundaries. Those boundaries are going to go all the way north up to Westbrook Road. So those are the expanded boundaries. Now, Capitol Police has jurisdiction for the entire city of Jackson, but they're not going to be stationed all over Jackson, but those will be the areas that they will be, now responsible for. All right, so Senate Bill 2174. This is going to increase the penalty for theft of motor vehicles. So there are going to be stiffer penalties if you steal, for people that, steal vehicles. Senate Bill 2311. This is a bill that I know all of our sheriff departments, or our sheriffs are liking. What this does is this allows an increase in the annual salary. It allows the counties to give the sheriff supplemental pay, and it's based upon population in the county. The Hinds County Board of Supervisors voted to give our sheriff a supplemental pay. I'm not exactly sure of the amount, but it gives them the authority, to give supplemental pay to our sheriffs. All right, so Senate, we're going to talk about healthcare. House Bill 539. This was a step in the right direction for Medicaid expansion. What this is called presumptive Medicaid eligibility for pregnant women. So in the past, when a mother was pregnant with a child, and she did not have insurance, she'd have to go and apply for Medicaid. And we know how long it can take sometimes. So while she's waiting on her Medicaid to kick in, she's not getting neonatal vitamins, she's not getting health care, and it could lead to a complicated pregnancy. Well, what happens right now, if a pregnant mother doesn't have insurance and goes to her doctor, she gets presumptive eligibility for 60 days, so she will get benefits immediately while they're processing her application. So we're doing this as a way to decrease infant mortality. And so that was a step in the right direction. This is one of the first bills we took up this session. House Bill 1137, that's my baby there. This is a bill I've been talking about all over town. So this is a bill that allows the distribution of Narcan, which is an opioid antagonist. So people that are suffering from a fentanyl overdose or opioid overdose, if we can get Narcan to them, it can undo the effects of those drugs. That's a bill that I spearheaded. I authored it, worked it, and it was signed into law. It passed unanimously, and the governor signed, I think, around May 9th or so. So we're very happy about that. We're going to talk about a few insurance bills. We have House Bill 1213, which is the Living Donor Protection Act. What we saw happening in Mississippi was, and nationwide, people that opted to be living organ donors were being denied insurance, like health insurance. And so the insurance companies were denying them, saying, you're high risk because, you're an organ donor. Well, what this does is this prohibits them from doing that. And so we're trying to encourage more people to be organ donors. So insurance companies cannot refuse you coverage for, doing that great thing. House Bill 1350, I know everybody would like this. This is a bill that's going to prohibit solicitors from calling people regarding Medicare Advantage plans and Medicare supplements. So we fought for this, and we had two bills to make sure we got this one passed, and we have that passed. So as of today, they should be calling y'all about Medicare supplements. If they do, report them to the Attorney General's office. Senate Bill 2130. This is another one about insurance. This prohibits insurance companies from refusing or renewing your insurance policy because of the age of your roof. So historically, if you bought a home, and I sell houses, you might sell a house and the roof may be 10 years old. The insurance company can come out and say the roof could be fine. They can say, well, because of the age of the roof, we're not going to insure you. Now they cannot do that. So let's talk about it. Age and condition are two different things. Now, if you buy a house with a 10-year-old roof with a hole in it now, the condition is not going to warrant insurability. But they cannot solely refuse you coverage based upon the age of your roof. So I think that is a great one. House Bill 1126, I was a co-sponsor on this bill. This is the Walter Montgomery Protecting Children Online Act. What this bill does is it's going to require anytime a person underage, so children under the age of 18 that want to, get on social media platforms, things of that sort, are going to have their parents' permission. And we feel like this is important because we really need to be able to monitor and control, what our children are getting into. This bill is currently, the lawsuit has been filed from some social media companies. They're not really happy about it. But, we're standing behind it, and we have to protect our children. So it's a good bill. It's good legislation. I think the premise of the lawsuit is it takes away freedom of speech or something. It's violating constitutional rights. I haven't even seen a lawsuit. But as I explained to the reporter when he reached out to me, back when our Constitution was written, we didn't have internet, we didn't have social media. We have to constantly create laws that are going to keep up with the times that we're living in. That's why we have the need for this. This is not to take away anyone's rights. It's to solely protect our children. And I'll fight every single day to protect our children, no matter what the cost is. We had a few bills that came through for elections. One I'm happy about is House Bill 1035. Justice Court judges will now run nonpartisan. Justice Court judges were the only judicial seats in the state that ran on either Democrat, Republican, or Independent. So now they would be in line with the other judicial seats that run nonpartisan. House Bill 1406. This is going to change some of the absentee rules. And so it's going to give two more reasons to cast an absentee ballot. If you are scheduled to be on call election day, you can vote absentee. And voters who are incarcerated in the county where they are registered to vote can also vote. And so if you have a person that's in Hinds County and they're in the Hinds County jail and they have not done a crime that takes their vote away, they will be eligible to vote with this legislation. Also, in the past, ballots were able to be thrown out for signatures and minor signature infractions. That's not going to happen anymore. And so those are no longer going to be the grounds for rejection. In the past, they would take your signature and look at it and compare it to your voter registration when you registered. And if the signature was off, they could throw it out. But now they won't be able to do that anymore. So it's going to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. And the final bill I want to talk about is, I have two more. House Bill 526. So for all of you hunters out there, Guess what? You don't have to wear neon orange vest anymore. You can now wear fluorescent pink. So, and so you can wear a fluorescent pink vest to go hunting. So, fluorescent pink. And it was kind of fun when it was presented by Jimmy Funder, and then when he got up there, what they do to all new legislators, they call it hazing. So when you get up there for your first time, we ask crazy questions, just to kind of have fun with it. And so we made him actually put the fluorescent pink vest on when he was presenting the bill. So hunters, y'all can wear fluorescent pink now. And the final one, which is Senate Bill 2244. I want to really thank Senator Rod Hickman for his work on this bill. This will allow foster care children to get free transcripts from colleges and junior colleges, as well as have free access to public museums and state parks. And so that is the legislative summary. Does anybody have any questions about any of these bills? I didn't go through all 400 of them, but does anybody have any questions about any of these bills? Yes, ma'am.
With the incarceration for absentee voting, how do I get, okay, for example, my nephew may be in there in November. He hasn't been indicted, he's in jail. So how do I get the paperwork to him in jail?
You will get the actual application for the affidavit ballot and give it to someone at the jail. And then they can fill that and coordinate it. And once the ballot comes, get it to them, and then they'll make sure it gets to the circuit clerk's office to make sure it's accounted for.
You think they're gonna have a specific person there that's really trained to know how to handle it?
That's a very good point. And I think what we probably need to do is get with some of these civic organizations and get boots on the ground and say, hey, can y'all get somebody out to go and talk to these people at the detention centers and educate them on it, because it's important. A lot of people think that just because you have a criminal record that you can't vote, but there's certain crimes that that disqualify you, and there's some that don't, disqualify you from voting. So I feel like it's important that everybody's voice be heard. And so that's a good point. We need to get with our organizations and get the word out. Any questions? Any more questions?
When you were saying about the Capitol Police, did you say the green area or the blue?
Okay, so the blue area is the current CCID. Mm-hmm. The green area is going to be the expanded boundary. The red area is the part that they've actually taken out. And so that little small piece is coming out, and the green part is what's being incorporated into the CCID.
So they can come all over the area, but they can't do what?
So they have jurisdiction for the whole city of Jackson, but they won't be patrolling. But if they see something, it's a collaborative effort to kind of help with crime, just in case JPD's busy. It gives them authority to get out and assist. But they won't be stationed all over the city. Yes, ma'am. It is taking strides in the right direction. What we're seeing unity between the Sheriff's Department, Capitol Police, as well as JPD. They had a town hall meeting, and they're really coming together, ironing the details out. Capitol Police, their new headquarters will be up and running soon. It is right across from the Capitol, the old funeral home. I think it was, is it right? So they're revamping and remodeling. That will be their headquarters. And they'll be up and running soon. All right.
Is this the only place you guys do state of the district?
By the way, she's from Utica, Mississippi.
It is our
Alderman.
also Alderman 4.
Yes.
And I'm in 3.
Yes, ma'am. So you'll be at 2 Utica aldermen back there, Ms. Ella Green and Mr. Calvin Williams.
This the only location you go to the state of the district.
So this is the only one this year, but next year we'll be in another spot. So we'll be somewhere else in the district next year. But we are streaming online so that everybody can tune in.
I was late, but this is very fun.
Oh, yeah, you can go back and restream and hear everything. But y'all have $300,000 coming to Reedtown for pipes and things, infrastructure, $300,000. I forgot to mention Raymond, Mississippi is getting $400,000 for water towers on Hines Community College campus and the one downtown as well. So, all right. Anything else?
I would like to say you have hit the ground running and been doing an excellent job. And I know every time I've text or call you, you get right on it. And you've been taking care of things. And I just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work and dedication.
No problem, man. Look, you know, I have to tell y'all, thank y'all for, you know, trusting me. And I remember running up and down the street, me and my kids out there, 110 degrees, but please vote for me. Please vote for my dad. And so thank y'all for giving us a chance. Yes, sir.
I told you he was gonna be a good representative.
But we are thankful to serve. Thankful for the relationships with our elected officials. Anytime I call y'all, y'all are there. Anytime I need something, y'all are there. I'm gonna be calling on y'all soon. I need y'all to do resolutions for domestic violence. We're getting ready to start an international coalition with Australia to investigate domestic violence and get some legislation on the table. So that's our first step. So I'll be getting with y'all real soon on that. So you know, we got yeah, talked about it. So we got a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces. You know, another thing, government is very slow. It doesn't happen overnight like we wish it would. You know, we wish it would happen overnight. Mayor White and I, we were talking about the Byram sign here that's, you know, waiting on the Board of Supervisors. I talked to Supervisor Evers, and she told me that they have started running the electrical and the water lines to the sign, and so they should be back working on it, you know, on it soon. And so, you know, we're working slowly but surely.
Speaking of sign, what's happening with the Hines County, the one that's on this side?
That's
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
I know.
We're doing a little work on it.
We look like I'm gonna tell you this: the city of Byram made Hines County look bad because Hines County started on their sign first,
That's right.
and Byram came through and threw that sign up like a month and 2 months, and Hines County sign still looking the same. But that goes back to show you why leadership is so important.
That's right.
Because they made sure that everything was in line before they started on this sign. They didn't say, we're gonna put a brick down today and we'll figure out when we'll put the next down. Everything was in order, so thank you.
And hey, Ms. Gibson had a lot to do with that. She got big signs.
Thank you.
Man, it's a beautiful time.
I'm gonna pick on you guys now. What's the deal with the colors of that? They look like Callaway.
Everybody says, that's just those colors that we just, you know, we started branding when I started campaigning, and they kind of stuck. That blue and orange kind of stuck. So that's official colors of District 66. Right there. And I want to really thank Makiba, the balloon lady that did these amazing. She always shows up and shows out. If you just say, well, I'm thinking about an event, those ears stand up, man. Next thing you know, your event is planned. It's set up. Ms. London, thank you. Ms. London brought cupcakes here, everybody. George from Storage Max, also our president of our Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for all of your support. He brought some water and ice for us. And Makiba is actually the vice president of the Chamber of Commerce. Business owners out there, if you're in Byram, come join the chamber. Even if you're not in Byram, come on and join the chamber. It's a great chamber. We welcome all of our new businesses here and make sure all of our new businesses, you know, are successful when they get here. Yes, sir.
I just want to also thank you for the light project that you guys worked on 55, getting those lights on. All of them are on, so thank you for that.
They won't steal the cable out of it.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
And you were right on it. And so we have been trying to get those on. But again, thank you.
You know what? Y'all are very welcome, and it was more so y'all than it was me, because y'all like, we need license, so we invited.
We've been 2 years trying to get the lights.
Yeah, so we invited.
Thank you.
So you know, reached out to Commissioner Simmons and got him to come to our luncheon. We started having those conversations with him, and his staff was absolutely amazing. So we appreciate the great working relationship that we have with Commissioner Simmons, and it looks so much better.
It does.
Coming through there at night. It looks so much better. And man, we gave the commission a lot of money to redo some interstate stuff. So I don't know where you're gonna go, but you're gonna get something done. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say, not to separate from the business and the political side of what you do. I want to talk about your personal side with your with the the residents of your district. Thank you. I was in the hospital in critical condition, and he was so thoughtful to send me flowers.
Oh.
Yes. And so I love your personal side of your people because you just don't forget anything. So thank you.
No, we had to get you better.
I
We had to get you
know.
better. Since you here today, those flowers
Yeah.
here.
I know.
But you know, it's so easy when you represent such amazing people. It's easy to not forget. And we have a great community, District 66. It's great. And you know, it's not just Byron. We have Byron, we have Terry, we have South Jackson, we have Utica, we have Raymond. We have a very tight-knit community, and that's what we got to do. We're going to have to bring our district together and work together because we have a lot of small towns right there beside each other. There's no reason that we shouldn't be booming economically around here. And so we're going to build that bridge together, and we're going to thrive. This will be the premier place, District 66.
Yeah.
It will. It will. Anybody else?
Any plans for the next legislative session, what we're working on for 66?
Okay, any plans for the, look, that is a great question.
Yes, it is.
You know, the biggest thing, like I said, one of my biggest priorities is going to be working on Medicaid expansion. Another thing is going to be on federal money. So we're going to start working to see if we can get some federal allocations. There are, you know, several projects that we need to start working on. So just identifying money. Another project that we're working on in 66 is we're working on securing funding for a fire station. That it's going to be Midway and Owens Road. And so already own the land that need to get the funding for it, but that will give better fire coverage for our rural residents because they don't have a fire station out there. So trying to identify, you know, money, you know, to go towards that. So those are, you know, those are the biggest things over in Jackson, and I meant to touch on this. Wingfield High School, you know, it closed this past at the end of the school year. That's in District 69. It's not in 66, but a lot of students from Wingfield will be coming to Forest Hill, which is in 66. So my biggest thing of doing this summer is getting the kids together. So we're trying to plan a field day for them where you come out, maybe meet and, you know, have snacks and things for them, meet each other so we can build a bridge. So walking into school on day one, it won't be tensions. And so this, and so we really, you know, we really got to do that. It's stabilizing our schools. You know, we have about 13 schools in Jackson closing, and so this is between 11 and 13. So just figuring out, you know, what we're going to do. We have a lot of money being allocated, and making sure that the money not only at our school systems, but make sure all of our money that's appropriated is used for the purpose that we're, you know, allocating it for. And so it's just making sure that the work that we've done is actually being followed through on, and just going back in there and growing, building relationships. Relationships are so important at the legislature. Figuring out what projects, Mayor White, we're waiting on your wish list. But I'll tell you, see about
Representative Johnson last week. Right.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm gonna tell you, Byram, when y'all sent the appropriation list, they gave us a booklet that had everything in it we need. All we do is just take it and drop it on the chairman's and say, this is what we need. So I cannot say this enough. Representation is important. We have municipal elections coming up next year. So all cities and municipalities are going to be on the ballot. Make sure you go out and vote.
Please vote.
In November, we had a presidential election. We also have another very, very important position on their ballot, which is school board.
Oh, yes.
And that's something a lot of people don't talk about. School boards are important. You know, we have a talk show on Thursday. That's my co-host back there, Ms. Brittany Bowman. And we're gonna call her that called in and was upset about schools at Jackson Public Schools and said that the legislature, we need to give more, we need to give more money. It's our fault, the reason schools are the way they are. And ultimately, what happens is your school board, that dictates who the principal's gonna be, who the superintendent is, then how the funding gets spent. And so when we're sending the money, it's important that we have a good school board. And we have a candidate here that's running behind us on the school board. Yes, tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Representative Nelson, for all that you do. And so, as he mentioned, I am running for Hines County School Board District 3. That is Byram, Terry, Utica's, pretty much spread out. But a little bit about myself, I'm a 17-year teacher. Some of those years I spent in Hines County School District, Gary Road Intermediate to be exact. I served on several nonprofit boards, but most importantly, I am a parent of Hines County children. And so I'm just excited about this opportunity. I've talked to several people around this district who are looking for something different. And so, as Representative Nelson's point, a lot of people don't even know that you can actually run for the school board. So I talk to people all the time, like, wow, you can run for that, right? So it is an elected position. I am presenting to the district an option. That's something that we haven't had in a long time. And typically what happens is when you have people that are there who have been there for years and there's been nobody to really challenge what they do, they pretty much get complacent. And so I myself, having a child in Hines County, I have a son who's nonverbal autistic. And so there's some things that we didn't see that he should have gotten as a student in Hines County. And no fault of the teacher, but it's just when you talk about leadership, this is what we're talking about, right? So I am presenting an option to those who will be voting in Hines County District 3. I'm so excited. I believe that Hines County can be the best school district in this state.
Yes.
We have the teachers, we have the community, and we can be the very best. And so that is my vision, to make sure that Hines County is the best school district in the state. There's a place where all children can thrive, not just special ed, not just gifted, not just those things. So I just want to make sure that we are one of the top school districts in this state, and a place where educators can come and stay for a while. What happens is you got teachers that come into our district who are great teachers, but because of the leadership, they stay for like 1 or 2 years, and then they go off to somewhere else. And so I want to help make sure that Hines County is a place that educators will come and stay and contribute their talents and gifts to our children, and that they will stay and do that for years and years to come. So I want this to be a place where they can come in and say, hey, this is where I want to settle and teach. And so as an educator myself, I know the challenges that exist in the schools. I am in there, so I know what's going on. So I just want to represent you all. So if you live in it, so one of the things I'm doing right now is we have to get on the ballot to qualify. And so I am passing out, I have my petition that if you live in District 3, I sincerely need your signature on my petition to help get me on the ballot. And so I'll be walking around, I may be in your neighborhoods, you may see me pop up in your neighborhoods and all of that. So I just ask that you support, my vision. If you share the same vision that I have, I just hope that you all will support me. And I thank you all so much for your time and for your energy. And thank you all so much. And thank you, Representative Nelson, for all you do.
The coach made a very good point. When we talk about economic development, when people coming into a community, the first thing they're going to ask is, how are the schools?
And that's what and they come here to have a business and work and do everything else.
So we got to make sure that we have the best schools possible. That's a direct contributor. If you look at school districts and communities, you'll see the communities with good school district are thriving and prospering communities. So that's important. People don't give the school board the attention that it deserves, but very important position. All right.
And also, if the schools are good, you get more parent participation.
That's right.
Within the schools.
More parent participation, and that's what we need. All right. Anybody? Anything else? All right. I want to recognize Mr. Marcus Harris. Come on up here. Thank you so much. This is the owner, and we appreciate him for allowing us to come out and have our event here. He's been cutting my hair for 20 years. And so y'all need a haircut, get on down to Gentleman's Image. Next to Kroger and Byron. He'll take care of you. We appreciate you. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. All right, well, I will see y'all next year. Thank y'all so much for coming out. All right.
What did you cook for y'all today? What did you cook for you all today? Yesterday. Today? Yeah. Okay, what did you cook yesterday? We had beans with greens, collard greens, corn, and what else we ate? I know we had wings. Oh yeah. Macaroni and cheese. And cornbread. Okay. Yeah, that he would tell you about. He cooked all that. He keep me throwing names.
Okay, look, as a matter of fact,
You want beef?
Yes, you got
I have a son yet.
I need one more.
You don't carry that phone. But you ain't gonna be answering tonight. We should take you out.
Oh, that's nice. That was the top. Okay.
Okay, 942, the last. You probably know.
I've been working. I ain't doing
I've been helping them out feeling I ain't studying. Where you in now? What school? Program?
Well,
The Central. What you doing down there? Coach. High school.
So Blackburn, well, yeah, one of them was one of my schools this year. The year before, that's what they also had.
No power to you.
Where you in now? Still
Yep, still there. I got 63. That's it again. Quarter November, it'll be 30 when I retire.
Oh, you feel under 30?
No, what?
No,
it's 25.
I was up here to say, I have 16, and I don't have 25, and you have 15.
Ooh, it feel like it's 25, bro. Well, I'm trying to say the birthday. Yeah, I want to do at least 30, 35. It's going to be good health, and I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Oh,
30 seconds. Okay, come on, baby. So you started with the state. I go to the part-time work and then they end up hiring me on full-time.
How long were you at Blackburn? I used to go to Blackburn.
2 years? No, I wouldn't. Because I was there under Dr. Mills. She had been there 3 years.
So you was at Blackburn.
So Dr. Mills Greg came in.
That would be
Yeah, how many Greg did?
Yep, before I came there, I was at Wingfield. I started at Wingfield. Then Wingfield with the district office, stayed down there a while. And my director, Yep.
Name right went to Jack Station.
Well, what you do, 6 hours.
But you've been
All over. That's why I'm trying to stick and stay right where I'm at. I don't have no.
Not yet, cause I'm gonna take a few more pictures.
what you
Global, international. He was campaigning for my neighborhood. Now I was actually didn't even know him. I told her. That's how we started. Like, I don't think you would right there. I did. I told him. And I said, I don't think you'll be a great fit for us. He was like, well, just give me the opportunity. I said, no, we can hire too many new people, and they come in and don't do nothing. So it's a good guy. But we can find him, you know, and he kept coming. Now I can't get rid of him.
I didn't know you was in
He's trying to get work for hours. My mom lives around.
I see you in the ring one time across the station.
My mom lives once. Willow. Yep, Willow. We ain't in the bad part of South Jackson, to say the least.
I read something on what's it?
They probably will. They probably down there on the boulevard. That's where a lot of stuff be happening.
It's that little baby.
What are young folks?
I'm still coming.
Come on. Come, that's fine. Okay, bye. See you later.
Thank you, Garrett. See you soon.
But yeah, I know. I had